Hey, Alcove. So I waited till I got home from work today to start to tell my story, finally. So I figured what better place to start than my childhood and doing my inner child work on myself. And I dove deep, so I'm going to share it with you. And it really does explain a lot of how I ended up where I ended up and the actions I've taken, and unpacking it was a lot, but it really does feed into my story and what happened and how I got there. And so what better place to start than my childhood, which I'm going to say right off the bat, I had a good childhood. I really did. And, I can't complain. But there are things that shaped me to who I am within that, and my actions and my tendencies and all of those things that got me into addiction and these bad relationships and all this stuff that's happened over all these years. So let's talk about it. So I'm going to say right now that growing up, my parents did fight quite a bit at a very young age for me. And my family, there was my mom and I, and then my dad and my brother. And because there was 2 women and 2 men, it was kind of that way. Like, I always did the girly stuff with my mom and the grocery shopping and all the things, and my brother did all the manly things with my dad. So, which also plays into how things unfolded, I think. But I remember when my parents were fighting, I would try and stick up for my mom. And this is like a theme throughout. But I had said this in a prior video that me and my brother are very good mediators. And there's a reason for that. It's because we would try to mediate things and try to calm the situation. And we're both we both don't like conflict. Like, we would rather have things even keel and, on an even level. And we both tried to get in the middle if there was tension or fights going on, to break that tension and bring things down. So, which, when that happens when you're a little child, that can make you grow up quicker, right? Because you're doing adult actions as a child. So, when there's constant fighting, a child's natural instinct is to try to create safety. And it says, for me, that might mean becoming my mom's protector and partner over time, which is true. Like, I used to stick up for my mom for everything all the time. And honestly, when I hit 18 and I left the house, I felt guilty. I felt guilty leaving her because it was her against the other 2. It was always that tension, I guess. And guys don't always understand women, So I felt like I was leaving her, and I felt guilty for doing so because I was always her helper. I was always helping her go grocery shopping, do the dishes, cook dinner, do all the things around the house. And my mom took on everything. She really did. And she was always so stressed. My mom was so stressed all the time. And she did. She was always it's always the cleaning, the dishes, the this, the that. If people were coming over, it was like, no, I have to get the house done. I have to do it. And if somebody tried to help her, she would just be like, no, because if I don't do it, then it's not going to get done right. And that type of thing, right? That type of mentality. And I do that to this day. Like, I can't relax if my house is not clean. Like, I have to clean the house every weekend. I do the same thing. I get home from work on Friday, the first thing I'm doing is cleaning the house or dishes or this or that, because I don't feel relaxed until that stuff is done. And she instilled that in me, which isn't a bad thing, but at the same time, it's just very hard for me to just be and not have a million things in my head going, okay? So, the fixer mentality. You become hyper aware of other people's moods and feel an urgent need to solve their problems, which gets me into my narcissistic and codependent relationships and all of that stuff, but sure. Or keep the peace, the mediator. Difficulty relaxing, feeling unsafe or lazy to just go and be carefree if there's other things that need to be done. Hyper independence. Had to help your mom. Might feel like you have to do everything yourself. If I don't do it, it won't get done, like I said. And then guilt, maybe feeling guilt, responsibility for your mom's happiness, which I just said. I did feel guilty. I felt guilty leaving her and having her be the only one do all of those things. Says, while you were brave to stick up for her, it was a job you never should have been given. Does it feel like you're still playing the protector role in your relationships today? Or are you starting to find space to focus on your own needs for once? That I am doing. Focusing on my own needs, for sure. Like now I go kayaking or I go for a walk in the park to clear my head, to get those thoughts out of my head and try to make space and time for me and what I need in life. And I have been getting better at that. Meditation is a huge one. FYI. So, all right. I have to do it all myself mentality is a survival skill rather than a personality trait. Depending on others risky. Doing it myself became the only way to guarantee things got done or to avoid the disappointment of a broken promise. That is huge for me. The disappointment piece. I'm going to get into that in a minute. Like, oh, yeah. I either do it or I'm going to be disappointed. And that's a tough one to get over. Hyper independence, a common trauma response when you feel extreme discomfort asking for help, even when you're drowning. Difficulty delegating. You don't do a task, it won't be done right or at all. The burden fear, deep fear of being a burden to others because as a child you saw how stressed your mom was and you didn't want to add to her plate. That for sure. Productivity as worth. Only matter if you're being useful. Impossible to be at rest without feeling guilty. Control as safety, an illusion of safety that you didn't have in your chaotic childhood home. Healthy relationships are actually built on mutual reliance. People who love you often want to help you, and doing it all yourself can actually shut them out. Ding, ding, ding. That's a huge one. Like I don't think I've never had a relationship where someone was giving back to me what I put into it, you know? And that is like difficult for me. I have never had a relationship once in my life thus far where I was not the one giving all the time.